Hola amigos, welcome to my channel Hola amigos. Me llamo Ekta. So in my previous session I have covered noun, gender in Spanish. So I request you to please watch that video and gauge more understanding about Spanish. So in my today's session I will be covering partes del cuerpo, that means body part. So here I have drawn a diagram for you guys and have mentioned the body parts name for you so that you can understand in a better way. So vamos a empezar. So this particular diagram I have drawn for you guys and I will explain each part to you one by one so that you will understand in a better way. Okay. So first is these eyebrows. These eyebrows in Spanish we will call it as la ceja. La ceja. Then eyes we call it as el ojo. El ojo. So here also we will follow the concept which I have mentioned you in my previous video, that apart from some exceptions wherein it will be end with A, we will use as la, and wherein word will end with O, we will use as L. So masculine and feminine apart from some exceptions. Okay. So eyes we call it as el ojo. El ojo. Then nose, la nariz. La nariz. Okay. Then mouth, la boca. La boca. And lips we call it as labios. Labios. Then face, la cara. La cara. Then chest we call it as el pecho. El pecho. Okay. Then stomach we call it as el estómago. El estómago. Then hands we call it as la mano. La mano. Okay. Then legs we call it as la pierna. La pierna. Then knee we call it as la rodilla. La rodilla. Then foot we call it as el pie. El pie. Okay. Then here we call it as el pelo. El pelo. Then head we call it as la cabeza. La cabeza. Then neck we call it as el cuello. El cuello. Then ears we call it as, so now ear we call it as la oreja. La oreja. Then arms we call it as el brazo. El brazo. Okay. Then elbow we call it as el codo. El codo. El codo. Then fingers we call it as el dedo. El dedo. Okay. Then shoulder we call it as el hombro. El hombro. Then back we call it as la espalda. La espalda. Okay. Then here toe we call it as el dedo del pie. El dedo del pie. El dedo del pie. Okay. Then this heel we call it as el talón. El talón. Okay. El talón. Okay. So I have jotted down some examples for you guys related to body parts so that you can understand in a better way. Okay. So the first example I have jotted down is I have blue eyes. I have blue eyes. If you want to say I have blue eyes, then you will say tengo los ojos azules. Tengo. I have for I have we will use tengo. Tengo los ojos azules. As I have mentioned, eyes we call it as ojo. So two eyes, so los ojos. So these articles I will cover it in my upcoming session. Okay. So tengo. Tengo means I have. Tengo los ojos azules. Okay. If it is, second example is my arms are tired. My arms are tired. Then you will say mis brazos están cansados. Mis brazos están cansados. Cansados means tired. Okay. And brazo I have already told you, arms. So, mis brazos están cansados. Next is legs. Legs. My feet hurt. My feet hurt. Me duelen los pies. Me duelen los pies. Okay. My feet hurt. Me duelen los pies. Duelen hurt. Hurt for hurt we will use duelen. Okay. So me duelen los pies. Next, the last example is related to mouth. Open your mouth. Abre la boca. Abre la boca. Open your mouth. Abre la boca. Mention this chart in my comment box as well. I request you to review my video and to review my comment box to gauge the understanding of body parts in better way. Hoping that you like this particular session which I have given today. I will be soon coming with my next video. Until then, see you soon. Adios.